So what is an Agile coach? So there's been a lot of discussion lately about the value of Agile coaches. And in the face of mass layoffs, it's easy to blame leaders or executives for not understanding what an Agile coach does. But we have to remember that helping people to understand the value of Agile principles and of us is part of our accountability. So I want to talk a little bit about what an Agile coach is, what they do, and importantly, how they demonstrate value. Now, the first thing to remember is that an Agile coach is inherently tied to the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. This means we should have a solid, practical understanding of how Agile values and principles can improve software delivery. Yep, that's right, I said software. So that doesn't mean that you need to be an expert in writing code, but if you don't actually understand how software is built, tested, and released, there's a good chance that people will be skeptical that you know what you're doing. Now, in the decades since the manifesto was written, we have understood the value of these principles in a wider domain than just software delivery itself. And so understanding how these apply to the larger business context in which software teams operate is also vital. So what does this mean in terms of practice? Well, there's no one right answer. Just like developer could mean anything from front to back end, or monolithic system expertise to microservices or embedded firmware, an Agile coach doesn't have to have one specific set of skills. What they should have is one or more of a range of skills that help them to specialize in helping teams and organizations unlock the value of Agile principles, whether that's team level practice or organizational design. And whether that's a background in writing code or systems analysis, they should almost certainly understand how complex products are built. Yet we still see people that have these skills being laid off. So what gives? Well, the biggest missing piece is often how we actually demonstrate the value of our work. Because it doesn't matter how good we think we are if there aren't measurable improvements in our team or organization. Well, we can't expect that anyone's going to think that we're worth our salary. Now, this doesn't mean that Agile coaches need to be on the front lines at all times, building components that can be sold for cash money. It just means that the coaching, experimentation, and hands-on guidance that we offer should be aimed at empirical, measurable outcomes. And we should be able to clearly articulate that to the people around us. Now, even with all that in place, no one is immune to layoffs. Some people do all of this, and due to unavoidable market conditions, their job may still be at risk. But if you see people getting laid off and reflexively go for the defensive argument that, well, leaders are just stupid and they don't understand us, well, that might be a sign that you're actually a bit worried that you can't demonstrate your value. So we have to acknowledge the importance of demonstrable results and not blame others if we're not able to provide them. Now, if you're struggling for a way to show that value, you might want to look into dysfunction mapping as a frame to run experiments, capture the outcomes, and demonstrate that value. But that's another video. So whatever method you use, make sure that you or the Agile coaches you work with can clearly communicate their value proposition. And if we all do this, we may just find that the whole practice is lifted. Good luck.